But, one of the things I want to talk about last time is I had additional information about Somalia that most people do not know about.
Right. Most people know nothing about Somalia except it's hot and dry and full of lots of sand.
And lots of people running around with guns.
Exactly.
Well, when I was a graduate student in college at Cal State Northridge, the area that was assigned to me by my professor was Somalia and Sudan to study, to dwell upon, and their relationship with the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard any newspaper reporter talk about this or anyone, but, they were a Soviet client state during the Cold War. And Mogadishu, which is the capital of Somalia, had a gigantic, very expensive, deep water harbor built there at courtesy of the Soviets. It cost billions. And it was going to be used as the station for their Indian Ocean fleet. They had big plans for the Indian Ocean. And then when the Soviet Union became destabilized, that's what we want to talk about, the destabilization of the Soviet Union. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
The United States, destabilized Somalia. We destabilized it. We created the chaos there. Then we had to go in and rescue it, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. And we, of course, had to land right in Mogadishu, and the first thing we had to secure was the Russian port, right? So that we could bring food and supplies and relief to those poor Somalis. We didn't do the same thing for the people in Burundi and Rwanda when several million of them were massacred, did we?
No.
We rushed to save them.
The Rwanda slaughter was just ignored by the West completely.
Yeah, it was not a former Soviet client state, or we would have used that as an excuse to invade and take it over. But we destabilized Somalia, went in, seized the port. All right. Our leaders learned a little bit from the Shah of Iran. He was obviously our boy. They put him in power. Eventually, the people rose up and got rid of him. They didn't like that idea. But what they did in Somalia was let the horrible warlord Ceydiid appear to be the bad guy. But in fact, he was one of our guys. And here's the evidence that I think supports that theory. We heard of Black Hawk Down. It occurred in 1993, I think it was, and it killed those poor American soldiers over there, 19 or 20 of them. And they got trapped in the city and slaughtered, right? Made a movie about it. Well, I'm watching Adib on TV. They had him on TV after this thing. The evil warlord Adib. And he's speaking in English. And he's speaking in American English with no British accent. Now, it slowly dawned on me, because I've studied Somalia, wait a second. They only spoke Italian in Somalia, and Somali and Arabic. And there were a few people that spoke English, but with British accents. So then it dawned on me, this guy has spent time in America, a lot of time in America. He's our agent. And they let him kill those people to establish his credibility with the people of Somalia. That was my conclusion. And guess what? When he passed away, they brought his son back to take over the clan, evil clan. And guess where his son was living? He came back from the city of Santa Monica.
Too funny.
Yeah, and guess what? He had spent his career in the United States Marines.
Even funnier.
At one point, he had even been stationed in Somalia as a Marine.
Oh, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, so these men were sacrificed for the advancement of America's foreign policy.
Yeah. Okay, hang on a second, Wayne. We'll be right back, and you can tell us about the offer you got for a full-ride scholarship to Tel Aviv University. That's interesting. All right, we'll do that in just a minute with Wayne Scott.